suppose one of the highlights of my life when I was about 5 years old, probably. There was an old gentleman, I say gentleman, he'd been a carpenter, he'd worked in the Boston area some, he had lost part of one hand. They always called him Uncle Pete. Well, he took me fishing at that age.
Well,
I just went along, right? On our return, we had to cross the main highway. I ran across the highway. I was knocked down by a car,
wow.
which stopped with the wheel tire against my side.
Oh, wow.
And they commented that they had had their brakes repaired the day before. So needless to say, that created quite an uproar of family members.
Wow.
But I survived. Growing up as a child, being an only child, I grew up with adults. We particularly played Pachisi.
Oh, yeah.
When other relatives came, as I got a little older, we played cards, which I enjoyed very much. And as I started to tell you, when I was probably about 10 years old, I did start helping with the milking on a small scale. And let me see. I used to go fishing with my father quite a bit. I went hunting with him some. In fact, I always remember that we'd gone on a fishing trip the day that in 1939 when the German army attacked Poland.
Oh, wow.
We were on our way back and hearing it on the radio. It was quite a shock, I suppose, at that time. So then we're up to the time when I probably was in high school. Again, and high school was high school. We were small classes. When we got into high school, there probably were only about, when we graduated, there were only 10 in our class.
Yeah.
Prior to that time, in grade school, we would be like first and second, third and fourth, fifth and sixth in a classroom. And those would run probably something like, I'll say 32, 33, 35 children in a room. Let me see. When I was 15, I guess it was, I had severe asthma attacks. I'd been taken to doctors, and nobody could seem to do a whole lot to help me. You'll even see with Rob, he'll get to laughing, and it'll trigger some asthmatic difficulties.
Yeah.
And of course, I would have that difficulty. You shouldn't laugh, but not really.
Yeah.
So when I was 15, this was in November, not coming into Thanksgiving week, I had a severe attack, and on occasion the doctor would come, even if it was in the night, and give me a shot of adrenaline, which would give me relief in breathing. Otherwise, it's a terrible thing. You're humped up trying to, breathing is your whole be-all and end-all.
Yeah.
And so he came 2 o'clock in the morning, gave me a shot. I went back to sleep. My mother came up around 7 o'clock in the morning or so to check on me. I was totally unconscious. I was driven 40 miles unconscious by my uncle and the doctor to Burlington. And they had called ahead to have stuff ready to try to revive me. But I revived, obviously, and I was there for the whole week of Thanksgiving, I think, at that time.
Wow.
And I got back from that and back to school, and it was right around that time when Pearl Harbor was attacked.
Wow.
I remember clearly the noon hour time on, would that have been December 8th maybe, listening to Roosevelt's address to the nation. we're at war. It's quite a shock.
Yeah.
High school was high school. Nothing. I had a close friend. He and I were touch in touch as far as academics were concerned. And I don't know if I should mention it or not, but as a 17-year-old, through Christian education, I had met this young lady who was a freshman at the normal school at that time. And so, you know, as a 17-year-old boy in that period, you're a shy individual. I was. So I asked her to go to our junior prom, and she went. I honestly don't remember much about it. I think I probably stood around and did more talking. There were four boys, and three of us were with girls from the normal school. That's what it was called in those days. Well, that was either on a Friday or Saturday night. The following Thursday evening, I got a call from my close friend, Chenard, to tell me that this young lady had drowned.
Oh.
She had gone with some girls up on the Lamoille River and close to the bank, and she drowned.
Oh.
Terrible
Yeah.
tragedy. It was quite a shock.
Yeah.
Quite a shock. Because at that period, you know, after all, one week after this, and
Yeah.
that was
Oh
the
boy.
greatest thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah.
At that stage of my life.
I think that girl had a sister who was one of my roommates in college.
Really?
Yeah. A younger
Yeah,
sister.
that was the startling thing. And we stopped one time and visited this woman who had been her classmate. And it was interesting. It's the first time I had ever really talked to her, I guess. She said, "Oh, I guess you're the boy from Johnson." And it kind of hit me pretty hard.
Yeah.
And I said, "Yeah, I am." And I said, I never understood what happened. She said, "I think she had she said a seizure or something. So it must be she may have been prone to have had something like that. I have no idea.
Yeah.
No idea.
Maybe.
So that was but anyway, we went on from there, graduated from high school, and I was home, and I was called for a physical, military physical.
Mm-hmm.
And the doctor did give a report on what had happened to me with the asthmatic stuff, and I was declared 4 out. So I did not go into service. So I was home for a year. That was 44 to 45, and worked on the farm with everything from logging to delivering the milk and the whole 9 yards. And then the war ended, of course, with the Japanese surrender in August of 45, and I went out to college. And college was college. It wasn't easy. I had one attack, probably when I was a sophomore. I was in the infirmary for almost 3 weeks, right at exam time, which was not good.
No.
But I never was active socially in college, really. And then in my senior year, I had a close friend, and he invited me to go to a square dance that he was going to, and I went solo. And I think I had done quite a bit of square dancing back in the Johnson Hyde Park area when I was growing up. And I remember I danced quite a bit with your cousin who married Farnham.
Oh,
Yeah.
Farnham?
Oh, whoever she married, she was your cousin, you don't remember. But anyway, because she was by herself, I was by myself.
Oh.
And then we went back to the dormitory, and sat around and chatted for a while, and this one was there. And she had gone with a friend of mine, Red Wallace. And I thought she was quite all right. Quite all right. So I asked him, I said, Chuck, you know, are you... He said, no, go ahead, go ahead. So I called her, and we went to the movies. It's a long story after that.